Hejsan allihopa! Hoppas alla har en fin morgon. Det är en hel del som ansluter här nu, men vi förväntas att det ska ansluta en del till, så om alla bara hänger kvar i några minuter så tänker jag att vi låter lite eftersläntare ansluta. Och så kör vi igång om en liten stund. Så häng kvar en liten stund bara, så kör vi igång snart. Ja, då har det stannat av lite med anslutna här, så jag tänker att vi respekterar allas tid och sätter igång det här webbinariet. Först och främst så skulle jag vilja presentera mig själv. Jag heter Alexander Teng, jobbar som Partner Account Manager här på NetPrint Solution, för er som inte känner mig sedan tidigare. Lite praktisk information. Jag tänker att vi planerar att hålla på i ungefär runt 45 minuter idag. Och skulle det vara så att någon inte hinner eller av någon anledning behöver göra någonting annat, så kommer det finnas en inspelning som ni kommer få ta del av efteråt för att se resten av webbinariet i sådana fall. Är det så att ni har några frågor som kommer upp här under tiden, så kan ni såklart ställa dem i frågor och svar där uppe, så besvarar vi dem eller andra frågor som ni kan vänta med att ställa till slutet av dragningen, då vi samlar upp oss lite. Och skulle det såklart komma någonting som kommer upp efteråt, så finns vi ju alltid här för er efteråt, oavsett om ni vill se prislistor eller ha annan information eller ha någon ytterligare dragning eller frågor och så vidare då, så stöttar vi ju såklart med det. Dagens dragning kommer att vara på engelska. Vi har vår kära leverantör och vänner från OptimiDoc med oss idag, som ska köra en dragning fokuserat lite på värdet i att addera lösning egentligen i den traditionella maskinaffären, kan man väl säga då. Det här är ju någonting som vi på NetPrint som pratar med partnern, och ni känner säkert till det, men att det är väldigt mycket maskiner som vi säljer till våra slutkunder som inte har någon lösning på sig alls, och för att någonstans hålla hålla en liv i affären egentligen och addera ett värde till våran affär, så behöver vi någonstans addera lösning som är anpassad för kunden, inte bara nu utan också i deras utveckling över tid. Så det kommer nog vara mycket fokuset idag då. Hoppas att ni kommer tycka att det är värdefullt, och det kommer jag göra i alla fall. Okay, so I have talked a little bit about myself. I will introduce my dear friend Lucas Polak that is going to have this presentation today. So welcome, Lucas.
Good morning. Thank you, Alex. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. Thank you for joining. Thanks for your time. My name is Lucas Polak from OptimiDoc, and today I'll be guiding you throughout this OptimiDoc presentation part. So thanks everyone for joining. I'm going to share my screen. I think we have waited a while already for the attendees, so I think we'll start right away. The number of attendees has stabled kind of, so let's start away. So again, thanks everyone for joining. My name is Lucas. I've been in OptimiDoc for some 7 or 8 years now. As of today, it's been a long journey. We've been on the market for roughly 13 years. I bet most of you have already heard about OptimiDoc, and some of you have worked with OptimiDoc for a couple of years already. So in this webinar, together with NetPrint, we're gonna focus on a little topic, and it's not ignoring software. We're gonna see how OptimiDoc Cloud can transform the way you partners work. Now, obviously, the first initial topic or the name of the webinar was Stop Selling Just Boxes and Include Software. But we're gonna take a look at the software point of view from OptimiDoc exactly. I brought up a couple of scenarios, comparison scenarios, what it looks like without software, what it looks like with software. Even today, we still have plenty of customers that don't use any software. So we're gonna focus on making that transition and changing the way you deliver value to your customers. I have an MFP right next to me, so we're also going to see practical examples. Now, I'm very sorry. Some of you do not work with Epson. I brought Epson in this case. So I'm sorry. Please wink a little bit. Ignore that it's Epson MFP right next to me. The software works on 6 other manufacturers, so it's just that for this example, we're going to be working with Epson. So let's take a look at the agenda today. First, I'm going to introduce OptimiDoc slightly. Some of you, I have noticed, have never maybe worked with OptimiDoc. Then our major topic is the customer comparison, or like the environment of a customer, where we're going to be looking at the differences we can make and we can deliver. And then the third part is the demonstration itself. I believe that's going to be the most interesting part, and I hope we have plenty of time for that. So the first things first, OptimiDoc, where we are purely print and scan dedicated company. We've been on the market since 2012. We are based in Czech Republic. Now, Czech Republic is this little mecca of print and scan software. As you know, there are 3 major businesses coming out from Czech Republic worldwide in the print and scan. So we here, we do print and scan software for hobby. We're multi-brand. We are not dedicated to any brand. We now cover majority of the brands that are on the market, and we have software that span on server-based fleets and also pure cloud-based fleets. So today we are purely focusing on the cloud. That's also because of your region. In the Nordics, I only do software in the cloud. So that's going to be the major topic today. Now, for some of you, very important thing is we are ISO certified, both 9001, 27001. Certain customers, larger scale projects require this. So I believe it's a very good mandatory requirement that we fulfill in some larger cases. So moving over to our history, as I said, we started somewhere in 2012, where I'm going to call it self-made. We are a privately owned business who gradually, organically expanded over those past, what is it, 14 years already. Year on year, we were adding more integrations, we were adding more features. What I want to highlight here is we, as a software supplier, are one of the very first worldwide who introduced cloud-based software into the market. We started back in 2016 with our very first version of cloud-based software. And for me personally, that's the era where I somewhere joined OptimiDoc, and that's what is making a huge surface for me, because since we started early, we did have kind of a head start when it comes to the cloud-based software. We started where no one was ever thinking about cloud-based software, and we started laying the surface already, started having customers, and starting experimenting with the surface for our cloud-based platform. So that's what I kind of use up today. We had this head start, and thanks to this, we are able to be where we are today. So yeah, we've got over 3,500 customers worldwide. We are active in the European region mostly. That's where we're based. We've got offices in a couple other countries. We have an office in Germany. We have an office in the UK. So over those past 14 years, we've spread out a little bit. We've expanded. And as of today, there's roughly 30 of us. So let's move on to the second topic, and that's the customer, the added value or customer focused benefits. In this area, we focus on four main things. Now, obviously, everything starts with security. That's where it all circles about. We want to make the environment more secure, and that's where we want to leap off from. That's where we want to start. The second topic is efficiency. We're going to be cutting steps. We're not going to be doing basic mundane things. We help customers be more efficient. Third thing we also help is save a lot of time. In certain cases, we save a ton of time, and I'm going to demonstrate that during the demonstration later on. The fourth major topic, and I think it's also a really interesting one, is the integration. We've got a huge portfolio of integrations with different kind of software. So we, as OptimiDoc, we're this bridge. We integrate between the printers and multiple other different kinds of software. So these are the four major topics that we circle around. So if I was to describe the software in a very little one slide, this is where we circle around. OptimiDoc is somewhere in the middle between digital and file papers, between users, workstations, mobile phones, cloud storages, MFPs, and we somewhat connect all of these other different systems, and we are the bridge between all of these different systems, and we make it a very seamless, comfortable environment for customers. For customers that are either small or large, our customer base spans from one MFP to thousands of MFPs, up to 100,000 users, and so on and so on. So there is really no kind of difference in those environments. We're able to work with all the range of customers. Here is a couple of major things we do. So we personalize the MFP interface. We deliver what exactly the user is supposed to have on the MFP. We improve the scanning process, whether it's paper to digital or whether it's also digital to digital. So that's one thing we focus on as well. We also handle the printing, which is digital to paper. And then, as I said, integrations. It's creating bridges between the MFP or other customer systems, whether it's DMS or CRM or ERP, any other different kind of system that is cloud-based or that we can work with. So moving on, I said we're going to do this with comparison. So we're going to be comparing scenarios. In total, I have 4 different scenarios that I want to look at, and I want to show you the difference before and after. So the first scenario, the first difference that we're going to look at is printer without software and printer with software. As you can see here in this example, we have 5 years of contract. However, the environment of the customer has not changed at all. Now, I know this is uncomfortable, but this is pure reality of a lot of your customers. When you implemented the solution, whether it was just a pure printer, when you implemented that, it stayed like this until the end of the contract. And that's what I think is really not optional today. That's not a way to work with customers. There's plenty of other options. For example, in this other example where I show how it could look, we see that in the beginning, the software and the printer were implemented in certain, let's say, slight levels, small levels. So just basic features like card authentication, secure print. And then as time went on, throughout the contract, you kept adding more features, more integrations, and so 5 years later, at the end of the contract, the customer ended up having a really solid solution portfolio, or like a solution and feature set for their daily work. So I think this is how it should be done, and this is how tools like OptimiDoc enable it to be done in today's world. Another example is a level deeper. So we're kind of taking a look at a digitalization process without a software. So we can see that user scans on the MFP. Usually, I'm not saying all the time, but there's still plenty of customers who scan to mailbox. And this is a terrible workflow. They scan to mailbox, they download the file into their computer, and then they manually upload the file into the end storage, into the final destination. This is not a way to go in today's world. Now, hear me out. Here is why. It's not only because it's long in terms of time and manual steps. The reason why this is not a way to go is also because of security and kind of like filling up storages. So there is one copy in your mailbox, there's one copy in your computer, and then there's another copy in the final destination. That's a security leak. You basically, the user tripled the possibility for a security concern. Now, mailbox is the number one, I would say, security concern here in this case. So leaving everything inside of your mailbox, that's not a way to go in today's world. Second thing that I want you to pay attention to is the file name. If you look at this, what usual kind of like basic software or the native software delivers is a file that is named by a timestamp. So it looks like 2026 month, day, and the time. Now, if you want to look for this file 2 weeks later, 1 month later, or a half year later, good luck, because you're going to have 300 different files in your mailbox or in your download folder that are going to have a generic file name. And basically, you spend 10 minutes looking for the file, and you have to open it up just because it was not named properly when the user was scanning the document. Now, in this case, sometimes the user can also be interrupted. Just because the process is 1 minute long, 2 minutes long, if he gets interrupted in the middle, he's never going to finish the process. So the file is going to end up somewhere in the middle, and it's not going to be where it's supposed to be. And basically the last thing is a lot of these files, they are not searchable. So they are plain images. You cannot look for the content. You cannot copy the content. And also, I think AI is not able to get advantage of the content if it's in a plain form. If it's not searchable, AI is not going to be able, things like Copilot are not going to be able to work with the data in that PDF file. So also kind of like a major thing in today's world. Now, instead, here is what it should look like. So here we have a very simple comparison. This is what it looks like with OptimiDoc. It's a one-click process that takes 15 seconds, which goes directly into the end destination, whether it's OneDrive, whether it's Google Drive, SharePoint, or any other system. And it also has a proper file name. So when you're later looking for the file, all you need to do is you just hit search, you type the name of the file, and the file can come up. So this is a very simple process, but the value it can deliver is tremendous. And that's something customers can use on a daily basis, multiple times. So it's very basic, but it makes a very big difference. Moving on further, we have another difference between processes. This is again a level deeper. We are now looking at extraction. So if you look at this process, we see the same thing. We scan on MFP, we deliver it to email or folder, and then there is a manual step where the user has to look at the file, the document, and they are extracting data from this. In some cases, users are still doing it by like read and write technique. There is no automation in the background. They have to look at it, they have to read the name of the customer, and they have to write it somewhere into the endpoint, into CRM, finance system, or somewhere else. So this is not a way to go because the process is highly time consuming. You can do errors. So when you type in the data, you can make errors. You basically scale your processing and your costs from the processing. The more files you get, the longer it takes exponentially. And also the scalability, right? Again, more files, it means it's going to take more time gradually, means more errors, more costs, and everything. So the way we instead can change this is by simply introducing OptimiDoc AI, where we kind of like have a workflow. Workflow is going to analyze the document. It's going to extract the data. We're going to present it to the user through a verification station. User just takes a look at it, verifies the content, and he basically finishes the process with a single confirmation button. There is no other manual step other than just the visual confirmation of the data capture. So this is just the one step. It's searchable PDF. It's directly in the final destination, and you make sure there is no error because you visually confirm the content. Now, I'm going to go to the very last difference or very last comparison. This is going to be uncomfortable, but this is the pure reality. We are comparing your offering with your competitor's offering. It's not comfortable, but it's a pure reality. If you don't look at the values that you deliver to your customer, I'm guaranteeing that someone else will. So if you look at the upper graph, it's a timestamp basically of 5 years. And if you let the customer use the same MFP with the same functionality over the 5-year contract, you are basically risking the possibility that a competitive business is going to come to their office, demonstrate all the range of things that they can change, solutions that they can deliver. And basically from one contract to the other, they are rapidly going to scale. The the way printers benefit them, and they're going to change contract with someone else from your area. Now, if you look at the bottom contract, if you do things right, and if you gradually help them expand the use of the printer and benefit from software, automate things, save time, bring up more integrations, I guarantee you, you are drastically scaling and multiplying the chances that they are going to stay in the contract with you. They already bought from you, they have experience with your services, and they are basically aware that you are gradually um, optimizing their environment. So if I believe, and I have proof that if you do this kind of like software work the other way around, it's gonna scale success with your active accounts as well. So let's move on further. This is the ideal scenario. This brings up a little bit like the modern and also the cloud-based vision. This is the ideal scenario. On the upper level, you can see that's where a device is implemented with software. And all these changes, the growth of software use is either pushed by us, so it means we have launched a new feature, we introduced some new feature that the customer from you can use it, or second option is customer has gone through a change that can basically mean that, I don't know, they're going to start using new cloud system or new CRM system, new DMS systems. So at that point, when customer environment changes, you can immediately reflect the changes with the software. Printer is going to be the same, but it's the software that's going to make the difference and that's going to keep up with the environment of the customer. In the second graph here in this example, we have very similar scenario. The difference is only that the customer already had the printer in their office and you just implemented software on top of it. So just a slightly different scenario, but the same end result. Software is gonna keep track of their updates and it's gonna make their environment better and better over the entire contract. So this was the customer environment comparison scenarios. We are now going to pay attention to the software. I'm going to go through 3 slides before we jump into the demo. So the first things first, let's speak a little bit about cloud. The number one thing why I want to highlight cloud is speed, and it's also the flexibility. So speed in terms of installation. This software is usually installed within 10-15 minutes, then maybe 10-15 minutes of configuration, and the customer can be up and running. Maintenance, by maintenance, I mean this kind of like scalability. As I told you before, you can gradually make the customer's environment better and better. And that's also because of cloud-based updates. In order to make the customer's environment better, you just need 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes of configuration, and customer is going to have a new feature in their printer right away. So the cloud-based software is flexible and it's very efficient also in expanding the current installations. I know that when I was demonstrating the difference over 5 years, many of you were probably saying, when we install something into a customer, they don't want to touch it. Now, here with this software, there's a very, very big difference because again, it takes 3 minutes to introduce new workflow or something new into the customer's account or profile. So it absolutely changes the way you look at expansion of current customer cases. And I'm sure once you witness the way it looks, you're going to agree with me that it's very, very easy to scale active customers. Now, scalability, it basically does not matter if customer has 1 or 200 or 500 users, or 50,000 users, you basically do the same thing over and over. You configure printer, environment, computers, sync users, and that's it. You do the same process for 1 or for 10,000 users. So basically all the scalability is back on our side. That's also something with the hidden costs. When you're working with this type of a software, all you calculate is the license cost. It's nothing else, no hardware, basically. We handle all the processing in the background in the cloud. All you care about is licenses, and you can basically know how much it's going to cost 5 years upfront. So at the beginning of a contract, you can buy the license, and you basically the costs are guaranteed for you. Alrighty, moving on, it's the software. So the software called OptimiDoc Cloud splits into two different pieces. We have OptimiPrint and we have OptimiCapture. Both of these software have their own licenses, so you can have a customer running scanning only, printing only, and then you can have a customer running both of those softwares. So moving slightly further, first things first, printing. Printing has been here for ages. It's been the same for ages. Basically, what we want to do with customers is we want to deploy secure print. That means they do not print directly on the device. The device is locked. They print into a spooler. And then later on, when they walk up to the machine, we want them to swipe a card and release the print job. This is something we do as well. However, we do one thing a little bit different. When customers or when users are sending print jobs to spooler, to cloud, we let them send this print job into their cloud storage. So in this theory, the print job is in the cloud. They can send prints from home and release them in the office, but the print job is waiting in their cloud storage. I'm going to demonstrate this in 3 minutes. So keep this in your mind. We're going to get back to this. Again, things like follow me print or pull print, this is what the software does. So we didn't reinvent the wheel. We just make a few things more comfortable and easier for the user. Moving further into the second stage, we have the scanning. So in this image, I want you to take a look at this screen, separated into 3 pillars. So we've got this capture, processing, and routing. And basically, this is our scanning workflow. We capture the document, we process the document in some way, and then we deliver it into the final destination. What we do with customers is we let them create their environment. So you can basically draw line from left to right, and that becomes a workflow. There is no limits on workflows. So you can have a customer with 5 workflows, or you can have a customer with 100 workflow spread around different departments. And basically the goal of the workflow is to automate, remove manual steps, and automate and personalize the process. So that should be enough of slides. Slides are boring. Let's go and see the product. So what I have here is I've got my mobile phone right next to me. I've got this Epson screen right next to me. This is going to be a live demonstration of the software. I'm not going to be sharing just the screen. We're going to go live with the full interface. In the other image, or in the other window here, I've got my cloud storage. So I've got some files. First things first, I'm going to do here is printing. So I open up a document, any kind of PDF. It doesn't really matter that I'm here. I could be working from home. I can send a print job. So I hit Control Print. I select my OptimiDoc Pull Print, submit the print. Now I walk up to the machine. I authenticate. So I swipe a badge or I enter a PIN code. Come on, is the badge working? Oh, there it is. Yep, so we have my pull print queue where I have my own personal files stored. If I do the same thing over, send a print job, just like this. Now the print job is going to go to Cloud, and from this UI, as you can see, I have fourth job in my spooler. I'm going to show you. Remember on this slide, I told you we send the print job to customer cloud storage. So let me show you. This is my OneDrive. This is my spooler folder. And as you can see, we have 3 files, but I think if I submit one more, you can see I immediately get a PostScript file into my OneDrive folder, and then I'm viewing this folder from my Epson UI, and I can basically select, choose, apply finishing options, and release print jobs from my spooler. Once I print the document, that was the 5 missing file. If I print this document, it's going to be deleted from the spooler. So as you can see, we had 4 files, and here it's different, displaying 4 files in my OneDrive. Yeah, so we're gonna wait for the print job to be released. After it's released, it's deleted from the spooler, and we're gonna get the copy here, right? So this is a regular pull print. The second type of printing I want to show you is printing directly from cloud storages. So as you can see, I am real-time viewing my cloud storage from the printer UI. I can go through the folders, and I can basically look up all these files in my OneDrive, go back and forth through the folders. Oh, oops. And I can go up to any file, apply finishing options, and again, print this. We're utilizing single sign-on in the background. As you could see, I did not have to log in. Basically, I had the cloud storage immediately available to me. So this is basically printing. There is a third type of print, and it's direct print, but this is displayed purely from computer. So what we can do is we can basically print to any printer directly from a computer as well. So we displayed secure print, printing from cloud storages, and direct print. Moving on, we are going to go into the scanning. So it's this second slide. Again, as I said, imagine you draw a line from left to right, and that becomes a workflow. This workflow is then presented as a button on the screen of the MFP. I'm going to perform a couple of examples. So the first things first, I'm going to have 3-page order. Basically, we see that it's all different type of a barcode, different type of a vendor. It's got some content on it. I'm going to take all these 3 pages into the feeder. I have a dedicated workflow for this, which is called demo barcode and zones. This is a one-tap workflow. I have 0 interaction. I don't need to fill in anything as a user. Basically, it's just a single click button. All the processing is in the background. So what it does is it goes through, we see scan on MFP, we do barcode recognition, separation, a couple other features, and then it goes into OneDrive. So if I go into my OneDrive now, demo folder here, we're going to give it 10 more seconds, and we are going to see here in this folder, we are going to get 2 new folders. They are going to be named with basically here, if I show you, we're going to be using the vendor name, and we're going to be using the barcode. Come on. There we go. So we have 2 new folders inside of my OneDrive. They were named according to the content, and also the file name was named according to the barcode. As a user, I didn't have to do anything. It was all automated in the background. Basically, the workflow had predefined configuration. I'm going to show you exactly the same process, exactly the same workflow, but this time I'm going to do a little difference. In the previous example, we did this scan through MFP. In this new example, I'm going to do the same process, this time from a website. So we're going to go digital to digital. So I load up this website. I've got all the scanning workflows over here. By the way, users, they log in through Microsoft button. So when you are going to scan something digital, you just log in through a Microsoft single sign-on. Then you see your workflows. My environment is a little bit mixed. We have tons of workflows, but then you go here. I have some demo files. So this is the same kind of thing. 3 pages. They all look the same. We're going to process this, and in a few seconds, we are going to have 2 new files in this folder. So refresh, and there we go. It took literally 10 seconds, or maybe 5, and we got 2 new files into the same folders. We've got 1 more file into this folder. Basically, it's the same workflow. This time, the file originated from a digital file. And now I could go on and on with examples because we have tons of other workflows. Instead, I'm going to show you this example. Remember when I showed you verification, so extracting data? I'm going to do the same process from here. We have AI form. So this is a workflow configured for a specific type of a form. This is a GDPR agreement form, which is filled in by handwritten text. We send this into workflow. I have the same kind of file here as well. So I have these papers. I'm gonna do the same thing on the MFP. So I put them into feeder, and I have a dedicated workflow for this. So it's called AI form don't touch. So it's gonna go through. The file then goes into, another here. The file then goes into a verification station. So I refresh my verification station. Now, today is 16th of April. There we go. I verify. So this is the content of the document. And as you can see, this is the data that we have extracted. And I, as a user, can just visually confirm this. We see that all the checkboxes were changed into true, false, and so on. We see here there are some problems. So test, it's missing email, it's incorrect date form. So I just confirm the content. I apply some changes as a user. Then I confirm the document. And what happens is it goes into a final destination. The final destination is in my SharePoint. So as you can see, the file just made it here. If I send one more, so let's go, for example, here. We have Jon Snow. We've got some number. There we go. Confirm. Go into OneDrive. Refresh. Another file. So we have 4 files in total right now. Another file just made it. However, the file also has all the data that we captured inside of my SharePoint. So the AI not only extracted, but the workflow also transferred all the values into my SharePoint automatically, where I, as a user, did not do anything other than just visually confirm it. And as I said, I could go on and on and on with examples. Basically, all the examples would circle around this slide that you see. These are all the options that we can do. There are features like watermarking, applying watermark on the scanned image, digital signature, text redaction, and so on and so on. The core of this is that the customer can have 1, 5, 15 workflows as long as they make some changes. So basically, then there are no limits. If it makes sense, the customer should have a workflow for a digitalization process. Two more things I want to show you is business model and licensing. So there are 3 licenses in total that you need to understand. There is Capture Lite, Capture Pro, and Print. And then there are 2 different business models. There's one business model which is per device based. That's where you get the scanning software on MFP only. And then there's another business model which is per user. And that's where you get the scanning features on your computer and on your mobile phone as well. We have a cool app that can scan files from your pocket scanner smartphone, and that can also utilize the same list of workflows. So it's good for people that travel. We've got over, I think, 350 customers in Sweden only. So the product is well established over there. Netprint has experience with over 100 customers, I'm sure. So basically, the product is well tested over those past 10 years now. And it's just waiting for you to try it and see if your customers can use that software for their benefit. So, all right, that will be it for today. As I said, I could go on with demonstration, but then it's just all about one single software, just different types of features. So we'll wrap it up here. I'm gonna send these slides to Alex. Alex is gonna distribute them to you. There are 3 more slides here that you can go through. There are some key takeaways for your customer, key takeaways from the software, key takeaways for you from the software, and there are some basic conversation openers, and that's basically it. So you can go through those slides, refresh what you have seen, and maybe get some more other tips from some of those other slides in the end. So thanks again for your attention. I have, well, we still have the same number of attendees, so thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time. I was very happy to be here and present this to you. If you have any question on the software, let me see the chat. We got nothing, no questions. So if you have any other follow-up questions, feel free to send it to Alex. We're gonna make sure we answer it to you as soon as we can. So yeah, thanks again for joining. It was a pleasure for me to be here, present this to you, and you have a happy day, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Lucas. It was, as always, a really professional and good presentation from you. I mean, I can just fill in that OptimiDoc Cloud platform is something that we, from the Netprint side, have worked with for some time now, and it's a really future-wise, really good solution where we are today, but also where we will be in several years. So this is something that I hope everyone is taking a good look at, and of course from the Netprint and OptimiDoc side, we support you in NFR licenses that you can try out the software and also get support in how to use it in the best way. Again, thank you, Lucas, and thank you everyone for joining today. Hope you all have a great day and talk to you soon.
Thank you, Alex. Have a happy day, everyone.
Yeah, bye-bye.